Hi everyone, this is Elizabeth from the Community Library, and today I'm going to be showing you how to get started with Libby. Some of you may be familiar with Libby. This is one of our apps that we use to read and check out ebooks and audiobooks and digital magazines through the Community Library. So this is going to be a pretty brief overview, but hopefully it gives you enough to get started with Libby. So today I'm going to give an overview of Libby. So I'll be demonstrating how you can download the app and sign in. And then we'll go over some of the key features that you'll need to get started, like browsing, searching, borrowing, and placing holds, and also navigating once you have stuff checked out. And then after the demonstration, I'm going to give a short quiz to try and test yourself, and will hopefully reinforce everything you've learned. And then if you have any questions, I'll have contact information at the end to direct you to. So like I said, you may have heard of Libby before. Libby is the library reading app by Overdrive. So recently, you may have used Overdrive before, but they're transitioning to just using Libby. So you can explore audiobooks, ebooks, and more from our community library. Getting started is easy. You just need an internet connection, a library card, and a smartphone, tablet, or computer. Libby is free to install on iOS and Android, and you can always visit it in the browser at libbyapp.com, which is how I'll be demonstrating today. But there's a QR code here you can scan with your phone to download the app, and that will get you started. So now I'll be going through the demonstration. Like I said, I'm going to be using the website, libbyapp.com, but if you download the app on your phone or tablet, it'll look very similar. It's just, I'll be on the website. So we'll get started with our demonstration. Okay, so like I said, I'm at libbyapp.com, but if you download the Libby app, we'll follow the same steps. So when you first open Libby, it's going to open to this screen, which says, asks if you have a library card. So we're going to click yes. And then that gives you some options how you would like to find your library. We're going to search for a library since we know our library. And for this one, we're going to type in Kenosha. If you've watched any of my videos before, you'll probably know that even though we're the community library, with these ebook things, it's a lot easier just to look for the Kenosha County Library System because it works within the system, so it just comes up faster. So this first one here is what we're going to click. It's the Wisconsin Public Library Consortium. So Libby shares ebooks and audiobooks throughout the state. So this is our collection that we want to pick. So we are the Wisconsin Public Library Consortium. And then once we do that, there's another step we have to do, which you'll see right here. It says add a library card for Wisconsin Public Library Consortium. So now we have to sign in with our library card. And here we're going to find Kenosha County Library System again. And like I said, it's easy because it's right at the top. So we'll click on Kenosha County. And then you're going to want to enter your library card number. And then tap or click next. And then it's going to want to know your PIN. Like it says here, you can always ask us if you don't know your PIN. We usually recommend trying the last 4 digits of your phone number. But if it's something else, we can always figure out what it is for you. Then we'll click sign in. Okay, so now we are all signed in. And now we'll go over just the general layout of what Libby looks like. So here at the bottom, you can see there's all these icons. So we're going to cover each of these during the demonstration, but I'll kind of go over them quickly here. So this looks like a building. This is the library. And you can browse the library's entire digital collection. So at the top, you can see we have some filters, so you're able to sort by things that are just added. So these are brand new items. If we'll click library again, you can also see just items that are available now. And it's really handy. So these are all things that you can check out right away. And here, if we scroll down on the home page, you can see that there's curated collections. So these are similar to like if you see a display in the regular library, these are collections that are relevant now. So things that are going on in the world. So like April's National Poetry Month. So there's poetry collection. We have some books in Spanish. And so that's where you'll find more curated collections. And now here to the left, if we see, this looks like a magnifying glass. So this is the search bar. And if we click in here, we can search for a specific title. So I'm going to search for The City We Became. Oops. This is great if you're looking for a certain item. You're able to look specifically for that. So we'll just hit enter. Okay, so here you can see the results. So once you search for something, you'll notice that we have both audiobooks and ebooks available. And there's a few different ways that you can tell which is which. So for audiobooks, it's usually a square cover. And there's also, if you look underneath the cover, there's what looks like little headphones and a time, how long the audiobook is. And here, if we look at the ebook, you can see it looks like the size of a normal book cover. And those are just some easy ways to tell the difference right away. And also you can notice here is because the Wisconsin Public Library Consortium on Libby shares items throughout the state, there are waiting lists or hold lists for items, especially if they're popular. So here we can also tell the difference whether something is ready to borrow or if you'll have to place a hold on something. So here, if we look at the audiobook, you can see that there's what looks like a little clock and some dots. So that means that we'll have to place a hold on this item. And you can also see underneath or to the right of the cover, it says place hold. So we can tap place hold, and this will just give you an estimate of how long you'll have to wait. So you can see it'll tell you how many copies are being used and how many people are waiting. So we'll place a hold there. And we're just going to keep browsing to go back to our results here. And here we can see that the ebook is available to borrow. So if we click on the cover, it'll give us some more information. And here you can see the details like the summary, different genres, and things like that. So we're going to tap borrow because this book is ready to borrow. And here you can also see that there are some settings you can change for how long you want to check items out for. So it defaults to 14 days, but if we click on it, you can see that you can choose 1, 2, or 3 week for your checkout period. So we'll just change it to 21 days. And now we'll borrow again. All right, so now that we have a book that's ready to be read, we're going to click Open Book to read the book. So as you can see here, the first time you check out an ebook in Libby, it's going to ask you if you want to read with Kindle or read on the Libby app. So there are, I have a separate video actually made for how to read ebooks on your Kindle. So if you are interested in learning more about that, I would direct you to that. That's on our YouTube channel here. But we are actually going to read on Libby for now. So now that we have the audiobook open, there's a few things that I'll just point out here to get us orientated. So here on the bottom, you can see that it tracks your progress as you're reading the book. So it keeps track of what page you're on and how many pages there are in the book. And it'll also progress you along the progress bar at the bottom as we kind of go to the next pages. So now if we tap the center of the screen, you can see that the footer went away. So that only comes up when you tap the center of the screen, and that hides the menu. And if you ever need to bring it back up, you can just click the center again, and that will bring up your progress. So to go back and forth, you can tap on the right side of the cover. So here, if we tap or click there, it will progress us to the next pages. And as you can see, and if you ever want to go back, you just tap on the left side. So that's how it's easier to kind of go back and forth. So now that we're a little bit further in the book, let's tap on the center to bring up the progress bar. Yep, so like I said, you can see that we're on page 15. And there's also some settings up top here that I would like to highlight. So there are a lot of appearance differences that you can make, which is the great thing about Libby. Okay, so now that we tapped the A for appearance, we can see all the settings we can change. So one great one is the appearance. So this allows you to make the text bigger, which can make books large print, or you can make it smaller by just tapping and holding and sliding this back and forth. You can also change the lighting style. So if you want a dark mode ebook, you can do that here. And there's a lot of other settings here that you can play around with. And one important thing to note is that these settings are sticky, like they say. So you only need to do this once on your device, and then it will save any settings that you choose. So you don't need to keep making the text bigger on every ebook. Okay, so now that we've changed some settings, we're going to hide this appearance menu by just tapping the A, which will make that menu go away. Now, once you want to leave an ebook, you can just tap this back arrow in the left-hand corner to leave the ebook. And that will take you to your shelf. So here on the bottom, we can see these icons again. So this little stack of books is going to be your shelf. So this is items you have checked out and things that you have on hold. And now here to the right, you can see there's going to be a now reading bar that pops up. So this is anything that you're currently reading. If you want to dismiss it, you can just tap or click the X and that'll make that go away. So now we just have our icons here. So like I said before, this building icon is for library. So that's when you want to browse and search the collection. And next to that is the magnifying glass, which is for searching the collection for specific items. And like I mentioned before, this little stack of books is the shelf. So these are items that you have checked out or on hold. Okay, so now that we're back on our shelf, this little stack of books here, we're going to look at what an audiobook or listening to an audiobook looks like in Libby. So I'm just going to tap or click on Open Audiobook. And similarly to the ebook viewing, it has the progress bar here on the bottom. And as well on the top, there is a progress bar, which will give you the percentage of the book that you have completed. So to play the audiobook, all you have to do is click play. And similarly to if you have an app like Spotify on your phone, audiobooks in Libby are designed to play in the background. So if you leave the Libby app, the audiobook will continue to play in the background. And once you want to leave and not listen to the audiobook anymore, you can just hit back, and that will take you back to your shelf. So now we're going to dismiss the now reading bar, like I said, with that little X icon. And the final icon on the bottom of our navigation is the timeline. So as you can see, it looks like a clock. And this is how you can view your past activity. So if you want to see what books you've read in the past, you can go to your now or your timeline to see that activity. And as you can see here, this middle icon is the menu for Libby. So this is where you can see your account information and also get some help. So I'll just kind of go over what's in the menu. So first up here, you can see you can manage your notifications to manage what different notifications you get about your loans and your holds. So if you download the Libby app on an iOS or Android device like your phone, you'll default get push notifications when something is about to be due on your Libby app or when you have a hold available. You can always turn this off or on in your in-app notifications. So when you have a hold that becomes available on Libby, you'll receive an in-app notification and you have 3 days to act on it. You can either borrow the item, choose to deliver it later, or cancel your hold. And if you don't do anything during the 3-day pickup window, there is a deliver after 7 days option that will be automatically applied as a one-time courtesy. So if you have something on hold and maybe you just forget to borrow it or choose to deliver it later, it'll automatically be still on hold for you and will become available after 7 days in the Libby app. Then further down the menu here, you can see our library that we have a card with. If you by any chance have a second library card, maybe you have a second home, you can also add that library card as well in Libby, if that's something you have. And finally in the menu, this is where you are able to get help and support for Libby. The one thing I wanted to highlight is the get some help. So if you're ever having problems with Libby, you can come to the menu and tap or click on get some help. And just as an example, we'll type in return. Say we're wondering how we can return an ebook. Okay, so then it will suggest help articles to you, like returning books. So this will give you the basic steps for how to do things on Libby. And if you have any other further questions, you can always tap this Ask Our Support Team. So this is where you can directly interact with the Libby team. So that is mostly what I had for the demonstration. The main thing is it's good to remember is just to follow the icons on the bottom. So we have our search magnifying glass, there's the library, there's our menu, and our shelf. So it's always good to just come right back to the navigation bar and find these items. Okay, and that is all I had for the demonstration, so we will go back to the presentation. Okay, so now that we've walked through all of Libby's most important features and processes, we'll see what we've learned with our Libby quiz. Now this is mostly meant to be a review, not anything super competitive, so it just goes over the basics of Libby. So for question 1, we're going to start in the navigation bar of Libby. In the navigation bar, what do you tap to browse the library's collection? Is it the magnifying glass, the library building, the menu, the stack of books, the clock, or unsure? And remember, this is when we don't know specifically what we want to borrow. It's just about browsing the library collection. So when you want to browse your library's collection, you tap on the library icon. So from here, you can use filters, like these ones at the top, guides, like our curated collections, or going through different curated lists created by the library. When you want to find something specific, you can tap the magnifying glass and type in a title, author, or series name. So question 2 is, in the navigation bar, what do you tap to find your loans and holds? Is it the magnifying glass, the library building, the Libby menu, the stack of books, the clock, or unsure? Remember, you find your current loans and holds on your shelf. What do you think you tap to get there? So when you want to find your current loans and holds, you can tap on the stack of books icon to get to your shelf. From here, you can filter by current loans, holds, and when you scroll this page, Libby will show you available holds at the top and will organize your titles by most recently played. So for question 3, let's hop into an ebook. So what are the 3 ways that you can customize your ebook's appearance? You can pick as many that apply. So there's text scale, which is the size of the font, the lighting, the background color of the title, the book design, which is the font of the book, or language, the language that the book is written in. So when you want to change your appearance settings in an ebook, tap in the center of the screen and then tap the A icon. From here, you can change the font size, so every ebook can be a large print book. You can also change the lighting. Bright is the default, but you can find what you like best for your eyes. And finally, you can change the book design or the font the book is presented in. There are 5 pre-made fonts, but you also have the option to customize your font, which includes spacing between lines of text. If you thought language, that's a good guess. Our library does offer some titles in Spanish, which you can find by searching or browsing our adult collection. But language isn't something that can be customized within the appearance menu in an ebook. So for question 4, when a hold becomes available, you can borrow the title, have the title delivered later, or cancel your hold. How long do you have to make one of these choices? Do you have 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, 1 week, or not sure? So you have 3 days, or more specifically 72 hours once the hold is available, to either borrow the title, have the hold delivered later, or cancel that hold. On the shelf, you'll see any available holds displayed at the top of the page. From here, you can choose Borrow or Deliver Later, or tap Manage Hold. Cancel hold if you're no longer interested in the title. How can you tell visually if a title is an audiobook while browsing? Is it the smaller jacket cover, the headphone icon, the runtime under the jacket cover, or all of the above? So the correct answer is all of the above. You can see that square, smaller jacket cover. That's a square, smaller jacket cover. The headphones are underneath with the audiobook duration as well. So this is question 6. So true or false? You can add multiple library cards in Libby. So this is true. Libby is designed to store multiple library cards, whether they're all from the same system, if you're a family sharing a device, or if you have access to different libraries. To add additional cards, tap on the menu icon under Your Libraries, tap Add a Library, and then search by the name of your digital collection or zip code and sign in with your library card. All right, so this is our last question. In the navigation bar, what do you tap on to find common solutions to frequently asked questions? Is it the magnifying glass, the library building, the menu, stack of books, clock, or unsure? So if you want to see frequently asked questions or reach out to the Libby team, you can tap on the Libby menu icon, and then under Help and Support, tap Get Some Help. From here, you can type in a question or keyword into the How Can We Help bar if you'd like to find quick and simple solutions. If you can't find the answer that you were looking for in the search, you can always tap Ask Our Support Team to reach out to Libby's technical support specialists who are very knowledgeable about the app. All right, so that is all I had for today. So hopefully that was able to help you get started with Libby. As I mentioned, if you have any questions, you can always feel free to reach out to us on our website, communitylib.org, or our Facebook, and you can always call us over the phone, especially for things like if you don't know your PIN. We can do that really quickly over the phone for you. Thanks for watching.